This is Zwift, and this is my story of how I will leave E rank behind me and level up all the way to become an A rank adventurer. In the last episode, I had lost the time trial to Bernie, and he had brought it back to 2-all in the Zwift Cup of Doom. So today, I would need to start taking training seriously if I wanted to beat him and level up to D rank. I think I found the perfect way to do it. This is baseline camp, where I would attempt to unlock a new power level at every interval. The first one was 10-second sprints, and here you go through a bit of a warm-up before absolutely sending it, and in my first round I went as hard as I could. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Ah! I was just looking at my max power of wattage, but I had averaged 648 with a new max high of 758. Alright, round 2, here we go. I don't know if screaming helps. On the second set, I did get a better average, but I could only get to the high of 757, one less than the first set. But on the third and final set, I decided to unleash hell. I wanted to unlock more power so badly, so I just sent it as hard as I possibly could. Alright, last set, let's do it. Let's go! When I saw that achievement unlocked, I was so happy. Breaking 800 watts for the first time. Despite this being a 10-second drill, Zwift was actually measuring my 5-second power, which came out to be 788 watts or 10.5 watts per kg. Now with my chicken legs, sprinting was probably never going to be my strongest section, but I was still happy with that. But I couldn't get comfortable because just a few days later, it would be time for the 1-minute sprints. And boy oh boy did this one hurt. Now once again, we'd go through a quick warm-up and then go all out in a 1-minute effort. I decided to stand up and grind it out with a slightly lower cadence of 70. I was aiming for around 400 watts, and you can see in the first half, I was well in the clear, but in that last 30 seconds, I was starting to struggle. I managed to just hold on and average 401 watts over the minute. On round 2, I tried to do a better job at managing my heart rate, and for the first 40 seconds or so, it was looking good. I saw my power starting to dip, so I dug deep, but the final 10 seconds, my power had completely dropped off again. And for the third and final set, it was time to completely empty the tank. Once again, we had started strong, but this time, as we came to that final 15 seconds or so, I managed to keep my watts over 400 and get my new best 1-minute average. So 431 watts for my 1-minute effort, or 5.7 watts per kg. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but this is actually a really good score, and I'm punching well above my current E rank category in this split. In fact, this would actually be decent for a D rank or maybe even a C rank, and in future episodes, this will become so important. 2 days after that, we would come back for the 5-minute effort. Alright, totally forgot to record this one, but this was the third stage of base camp, climb control. You basically warm up and then do 2 5-minute efforts. It sucked, especially that second one. That was absolutely horrible. Heart rate 190. Feel sick, like always. On to the next one. The 5-minute had me at 278 watts or 3.7 watts per kg. Once again, above what an E rank should be doing, but not quite as standout as the 1-minute. Alright, it was now time for the fourth and final session of baseline, a 20-minute all-out effort in FTP test. Alright, here we go. Get to around 2, not too hard, but around 200. Let's go. Now my plan was to do this in a slight negative split. Stay around 200 watts or so for the first 10 minutes, and then slowly increase my pace if I could towards the end. I did this one as a group ride. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is the amount of watts that I'm outputting, and they're just there for a bit of extra motivation. Okay, plan. Hold on to this for 5 minutes, and then stand up and go. Absolutely everything. And since there's 4 of us here, Let's do a little race. Why not? Okay. Time to start grinding. So we're just gonna stand up, lower the cadence, and hang on. Heart rate's 185. I've got more than that. But turns out this might have been a little ambitious. My heart rate was now at 190 and my breathing was getting really heavy and labored. And at the 2-minute mark, I had no choice but to take a seat and recover a little. Although it wasn't really a recovery, I was still absolutely dying and my heart rate didn't come down at all. My average at this point was 223 watts, but I wanted more, even if it was just 1 or 2 more points. Last minute, come on. Unload. Unload everything. Come on! Come on! And this was an absolute mental battle to hang on, but somehow we did and unlocked another new power level. With an average of 225 watts, and these were my stats from the baseline. I had also increased my FTP to 214 and my racing score all the way to 288. I was now officially a D-rank adventurer. And the fact that I'd leveled up and become a stronger rider was cool and all, but something even better had happened. You see, I've secretly been working on some longer Zone 2 robo rides and a few other recovery drills. Because of that, I had made it to 1.1 million drops. Now, this might come to a bit of a surprise to you guys, but I'm actually not from a cycling background. But I am a gamer, and build paths, upgrades, and best in slots is my sort of language. Alright, let's go. Garage, frames, where the Canyon, Arrow Road, purchase, confirm, equipped, yes! Let us go. And this unlock changes everything. On the next episode. Alright, we are no longer E-rank. We are moving up to D. We actually can't join E-ranks anymore. So, this is sick. Let's go. Let's go get it.